An international standard serial number is an 8-digit serial number used to uniquely identify a serial publication. The ISSN is especially helpful in distinguishing between serials with the same title. ISSN are used in ordering, cataloging, interlibrary loans, and other practices in connection with serial literature. The ISSN system was first drafted as an international organization for standardization international standard in 1971 and published as ISO 3297 in 1975. ISO Subcommittee TC 46 SC9 is responsible for maintaining the standard. When a serial with the same content is published in more than one media type, a different ISSN is assigned to each media type. For example, many serials are published both in print and electronic media. The ISSN system refers to these types as print ISSN and electronic ISSN, respectively. Conversely, as defined in ISO 3297-2007, every serial in the ISSN system is also assigned a linking ISSN, typically the same as the ISSN assigned to the serial in its first published medium, which links together all ISSNs assigned to the serial in every medium. Code format. The format of the ISSN is an 8-digit code, divided by a hyphen into two 4-digit numbers. As an integer number, it can be represented by the first 7 digits. The last code digit, which may be 0 to 9 or an X, is a check digit. Formally, the general form of the ISSN code can be expressed as follows. NNNNNNNC, where N is in the set 0, 1, 2, 9, a digit character, and C is in 0, 1, 2, 9, X, or by a PCRE regular expression. D4, D3, DXX, The ISSN of the journal Hearing Research, for example, is 0378-5955, where the final 5 is the check digit, that is C equals 5. To calculate the check digit, the following algorithm may be used. Calculate the sum of the first 7 digits of the ISSN multiplied by its position in the number, counting from the right, that is, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, respectively. The modulus 11 of this sum is then calculated. Divide the sum by 11 and determine the remainder. If there is no remainder, the check digit is 0, otherwise the remainder value is subtracted from 11 to give the check digit. 5 is the check digit. For calculations, an uppercase X in the check digit position indicates a check digit of 10. To confirm the check digit, calculate the sum of all 8 digits of the ISSN multiplied by its position in the number, counting from the right. The modulus 11 of the sum must be 0. There is an online ISSN checker that can validate an ISSN, based on the above algorithm. Code assignment. ISSN codes are assigned by a network of ISSN national centers, usually located at national libraries and coordinated by the ISSN International Center based in Paris. The International Center is an intergovernmental organization created in 1974 through an agreement between UNESCO and the French government. The International Center maintains a database of all ISSNs assigned worldwide, the ISDS Register, otherwise known as the ISSN Register. At the end of 2014 update, the ISSN Register contained records for 1,811,110 items. Comparison with other identifiers. ISSN and ISBN codes are similar in concept, where ISBNs are assigned to individual books. An ISBN might be assigned for particular issues of a serial, in addition to the ISSN code for the serial as a whole. An ISSN, unlike the ISBN code, is an anonymous identifier associated with a serial title, containing no information as to the publisher or its location. For this reason, a new ISSN is assigned to a serial each time it undergoes a major title change. Since the ISSN applies to an entire serial, a new identifier, the serial item and contribution identifier, was built on top of it to allow references to specific volumes, articles, or other identifiable components. Media versus content. Separate ISSNs are needed for serials in different media. Thus, the print and electronic media versions of a serial need separate ISSN. Also, a CD-ROM version and a web version of a serial require different ISSNs since two different media are involved. However, the same ISSN can be used for different file formats of the same online serial. This media-oriented identification of serials made sense in the 1970s. In the 1990s and onward, with personal computers, better screens, and the web, it makes sense to consider only content, independent of media. This content-oriented identification of serials was a repressed demand during a decade, but no ISSN's update or initiative occurred. A natural extension for ISSN, the unique identification of the articles in the serials, was the main demand application. An alternative serials contents model arrived with the index content model and its application, the digital object identifier, as ISSN independent initiative, consolidated in the 2000s. Only later, in 2007, ISSNL was defined in the new ISSN standard as an ISSN designated by the ISSN network to enable collocation or versions of a continuing resource, linking among the different media. Availability. The ISSN register is not freely available for interrogation on the web, but is available by subscription. There are several routes to the identification and verification of ISSN codes for the public. The print version of a serial typically will include the ISSN code as part of the publication information. Most serial websites contain ISSN code information. Derivative lists of publications will often contain ISSN codes. These can be found through online searches with the ISSN code itself or serial title. WorldCat permits searching its catalog by ISSN by entering ISSN plus is code in the query field. One can also go directly to an ISSN's record by appending it to https://www.worldcat.org/is/ e.g. https://www.worldcat.org/is/1021-9749. This does not query the ISSN register itself, but rather shows whether any WorldCat library holds an item with the given ISSN. Using ERNs. An ISSN can be encoded as a uniform resource name by prefixing it with an ISSN. For example, rail could be referred to as an ISSN 1534-0481. ERN namespaces are case-sensitive, and the ISSN namespace is all caps. If the checksum digit is X, then it is always encoded in uppercase in ERN. Problems. The util ERNs are content-oriented, but ISSN is media-oriented. ISSN is not unique when the concept is, a journal is a set of contents, generally copyrighted content. The same journal have two or more ISSN codes. A ERN needs to point to unique content. Examples. Nature has an ISSN for print, 0028-0836, and another for the same content on the web, 1476-4687. Only the oldest is used as a unique identifier. As the ISSN is not unique, the U.S. National Library of Medicine needed to create, prior to 2007, the NLM Unique ID. ISSN does not offer resolution mechanisms like a digital object identifier or an ERN does, so the DOI is used as a ERN for articles, with no need for an ISSN's existence. Example. The DOI name of 10.1038, Nature 13777, can represented as an HTTP string by https://dx.doi.org/10.1038/nature13777, and is redirected to the current articles page, but there is no ISSN's online service, like http://dx.issn.org/. To resolve the ISSN of the journal, that is, a kind of https://dx.issn.org/1476-4687 redirecting to the journal's home. A unique urn for serials simplifies the search, recovery and delivery of data for various services including, in particular, search systems and knowledge databases. ISSNL was created to fill this gap. ISSN variants. Print ISSN PISSN. The default ISSN is the ISSN for the print media version of a serial. Electronic ISSN EISSN is the ISSN for the electronic media version of a serial. Linking ISSN ISSNL is a unique identifier for all versions of the serial containing the same content across different media, as defined by ISO 3297-2007. The linking ISSN provides a mechanism for collocation or linking among the different media versions of the same continuing resource. The ISSNL is one ISSN number among the existing ISSNs, so does not change the use or assignment of ordinary ISSNs. It is based on the ISSN of the first published medium version of the publication. If the print and online versions of the publication are published at the same time, the ISSN of the print version is chosen as the basis of the ISSNL. With ISSNL it is possible to designate one single ISSN for all those media versions of the title. The use of ISSNL facilitates search, retrieval and delivery across all media versions for services like OpenURL, library catalogs, search engines or knowledge bases.